Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider, trendy bag or bendy back?
That's where you're getting a right or left tilt.
Find out what you're carrying that could be weighing you down. And find out what's keeping you off your favorite strolling spot in Columbia for longer than you might have thought. But first, who's subbing in this season?
For the Gamecocks, number 24.
We'll tell you what changes to expect to Gamecock women's basketball as they hit the hardwood. Carolina Insider starts now. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Hailey Brown. Our top story today, fall is in the air, and that means women's basketball is underway. Fans get their second glimpse at the Gamecocks tonight as they take on UNC in their second exhibition game of the season. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. in Atlanta. The season started with a slam dunk as the team took to the court this weekend. Despite injuries, transfers, and players moving on to the WNBA, Joyce Edwards and transfer Medina Okot took charge on the court, powering South Carolina to a 112-31 win over Anderson. The Gamecocks showed no signs of slowing down.
We lost Full Wiley. He had an injury. Act is not playing. So I think people look at us and they think, well, will they be as good as they're supposed to be? We're going to be just fine.
This was the team's first appearance since forward Chloe Kitts tore her ACL and will be taking the year off to recover. Kitts was a key player last year, averaging 10 points a game and ranking third in team scoring. If you want to catch the team's home opener, they'll begin the regular season at Colonial Life Arena on November 3rd at 7 p.m. As our women's basketball team gets fired up, excitement builds on the ice for USC club hockey. Cock Hockey has agreed to rejoin the American Collegiate Hockey Association after a 4-year break. The Gamecocks are moving into Division II, and as a part of College Hockey South, will now play against teams like the University of Alabama and Tennessee. This game came after they won the AAU Division I National Championship last season. With this move, the Gamecocks have had the chance to expand to wider audiences and tap sticks with more competitive opponents that they've never seen before. In other news, the South Carolina Department of Public Health is asking for help keeping residents, young and old, safe and protected. They've confirmed a current measles outbreak in the upstate with 25 cases. In response, the DPH is deploying a mobile health unit to 2 locations across Spartanburg County over the next week to offer free measles, mumps, and rubella, or MMR vaccines, to unvaccinated folks. They say children are especially in need to prevent the spread of disease in public schools. Closer to home, big changes are on the way for Columbia's water supply. Construction along the Columbia Canal is affecting Riverfront Park visitors. Here with more on that from the Riverwalk is Carolina Insider's Emma Wyatt. Emma?
That's right, Hailey. The Columbia Canal will be under construction for years to come. And while the city says these repairs are crucial for Columbia's water system, it also means parts of the Riverwalk will be under construction and closed off for more time than expected. This multi-million-dollar project is set to repair major damage from the 2015 flood that affected Columbia and most of the Midlands. Due to years of delays in permanent canal repairs, the city is projecting between 15 to 30 months until completion of all ongoing construction. For frequent visitors like Brandon Poe, the temporary closures have had an impact.
Some ways it's good because some of it's falling apart, but other than that, I mean, everything's been pretty solid, that I can see.
The Columbia Canal Recovery Project will repair embankment, resilient water supply, and more. City leaders say it's a long road ahead, but once complete, Columbia will have a safer and stronger water system. Back to you in the studio, Hailey.
Thank you, Emma. Finally today, health experts say some of us are carrying a bit too much baggage. Carolina Insider's Abby Gavlett shows us how those trendy tote bags might be a burden for our backs.
They're trendy, convenient, and seen on just about every college campus. But that stylish shoulder bag may be doing more harm than good. Nowadays, many students have opted to use shoulder bags rather than a traditional backpack.
I think it's more fashionable and it doesn't ride up my skirts or dresses when I walk. They're just trendy right now.
Margaret has been wearing her shoulder bag for 3 years now, carrying her laptop, a book, papers, and other essentials.
Sometimes I do have some shoulder pain on my right shoulder, which is where I carry it.
Margaret isn't the only student with shoulder pain due to her tote bag, though. This issue affects many students, but they may not realize the true impact that wearing a shoulder bag has on their health.
Wearing anything heavy that's asymmetrical on the body will always have postural effects.
I spoke with Dr. Tom Stetson at Columbia Family Chiropractic to see what may be happening to students across the country.
We're looking at making sure that they stay perfectly straight.
Dr. Stetson says that heavy bags of any kind can cause back problems, but the main issue with side-loading bags can become more severe than you think.
That's where you're getting a right or left tilt, which can affect their gait, it can affect their breathing.
While these trendy totes may elevate your style, keep in mind how heavy you're making your bag. Recognize if pain shows up, and pay attention to your body. Because when it comes to fashion, pain doesn't have to be part of the look. For Carolina Insider, I'm Abby Gavelitz.
That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next week. Have a safe and spooky Halloween.